When it comes to CSS, understanding backgrounds is very important. So far we've just been using background color, and if you've noticed, sometimes I do background color like this, and sometimes I just write background and I just write the color that way. And the reason being is similar to what we were looking at with the margins, the borders. There's a way to bring it all together within one line of code, and it's a shorthand format. And so background has that same capability where you could attach background colors, or you could specify that particular background property. So you can see here when we list it out in Dreamweaver, we've got the options for background size, background repeat, position, origin, image, color, clip, attachment. So we got a whole bunch of options. So if we want to add in an image, we could do that here. So there are some options, but we can actually bring that all together in just background. And we no longer have to worry about bringing them separately. So just by typing background, you see here when I create that space, I've got a whole bunch of options that pop up. So I can do the same thing that I was doing separately, where I can add in a color, I can add in a URL, so an image, and then what we're going to do with that image, so repeat, no repeat, and so on. So we've got some ability to do repeat X, repeat Y, fixed, scroll, inherent. So a whole bunch of options here for background itself. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a background image. And when I select that in Dreamweaver, it gives me the ability to add in this background image. So now on the divs, I have a background color of black, and I also have a background image. So this is just some JPEG that I have. And now when we go out to the page and refresh it, you see that in fact it has added in that background image. And as you can see here, that black now is no longer showing. And although it is still there, unless we're actually using a transparent image, it's not going to show up and it's not going to be visible. So this one here, it's actually not transparent as well. So when we look at the URL, we can see here that we don't have to have any kind of quotes, or we just put it within these curly brackets, the URL source. So if you had something like HTTP, and if you were sourcing it out to another location, you could do it in and add it in within that way. So we had looked at before that we have these options for no repeat. We can position it left, right, top, and bottom. So we're just going to add in no repeat. And then this way, when we refresh it, we can see that it shows you the image. And then afterwards, we do see that black background. So in fact, it is still there and it is still present. So here I've just added in that no repeat, and I'm just going to do top just to show you a little bit better about what's happening here. So that's going to center that there. We also have the ability to just do a repeat on X, a repeat on Y. So by default, the repeat is to repeat it, but we can also do a repeat X, so that repeats it across the X axis. Repeat Y would repeat it across the Y axis. So we don't actually have anything there that's separating out those lines. So here we're just doing a repeat X. And we can also do something like so I'm going to add that no repeat back in, and here we're just going to add it in right, and just show you what happens there when we refresh it. And as we can see here, now we've moved the position over to the right. So this is the same thing as we were doing with the background position. Instead, it's just all combined within one syntax. So let's see if there's anything else there. We also have fixed, scroll, inherent. So we're just going to do fixed. And what fixed will do when we refresh it, you see that when I even if I scroll it, this background position stays in the same position. So it kind of looks like it's moving between the divs, and that's because this is now fixed position. So we also had scroll, And there are quite a few options, and again, you really have to work with customizing with what you're doing. And again, the default is to scroll. So again, quite a lot you can do with backgrounds, and again, there's a lot of options here with backgrounds, and it comes to just planning before you start creating your CSS code. And you can also do a combination of top right, bottom right. So again, there's a bunch of combinations that you can do as well.